Do you ever wonder how love changes its shape without asking for permission first? One day it's a question that won't let you sleep. Another day it's the reason you finally rest. I don't reach for you like I'm afraid of losing. I don't hold you like time's about to run. It's quieter now, more deliberate, like choosing you when nothing's wrong. I used to confuse intensity with truth, thought louder meant more sincere. But some things only grow deeper when they don't need to appear. Now I notice the smallest habits, how you pause before you speak, how you leave the light on halfway, like you're thinking of me. This isn't a story I rush to explain. There's no dramatic proof to find. It's written in the way my day feels normal when your name crosses my mind. I don't need us burning to feel real. I don't need a constant sign. I just need to know we're standing on the same unhurried line. If love is measured in distance traveled, we've already crossed that test. But if it's measured in staying steady, then we're doing even better. 선택하는 일이 하루의 방향이 된 지금. There was a time I leaned too heavily, mistook closeness for relief. I didn't know how to stand upright without borrowing your feet. You learned independence early, carried your world with steady hands, while I was learning how not to collapse when someone finally understands. And yes, there were moments I crossed lines I couldn't see, turned my fear into a question. You felt responsible to answer for me, but I'm not asking you to rescue me now. I'm not handing you my weight. I'm learning how to hold myself so loving you doesn't bruise the space. I want us aligned, not entangled. Two people facing the day, walking close without erasing what makes each of us stay. If love is meant to make us smaller, then it's not what I wanna keep. I want a version that feels like breathing without counting every beat. Love doesn't always arrive like lightning. Sometimes it settles like truth, not demanding constant attention, just asking to be used. We're not fragile glass on a table, not something one move could end. We're more like daily weather, understood, not explained. If someone asked me when I knew, I wouldn't point to a date. I'd say it was when staying felt lighter than the idea of escape. When choosing you stopped feeling dramatic and started feeling right. When love became the atmosphere instead of the fire. So if you ever doubt what this is, or wonder where passion went, remember some things don't disappear. They mature, they settle, they strengthen. I don't love you loudly anymore. I love you deliberately. I love you deliberately. With my feet on the ground, with my whole reality. And if love needs an index now, a way to quietly show, it's not in how hard my heart reacts, it's in how calmly I choose you again and again, without needing to prove I know. I spend most of my life one step ahead of myself, talking of futures that hadn't earned my attention, answering worries that weren't even formed yet, calling that habit responsibility, not tension. Every plan felt like proof I was serious, every pause felt slightly unsafe. As it's slowing down, then I disappear from a race I never chose to take. I learned how to look busy on purpose, how to justify never arriving inside a day, how to mistake motion for meaning and label exhaustion as the price I paid. Then one normal or moment refused to collapse. Nothing punished me for standing still. The world kept moving without commentary, and that silence felt unexpectedly real. I noticed my breathing didn't need permission. Noticed the floor held me without debate. Noticed I wasn't being evaluated by time, by progress, or by fate. The room stayed ordinary, almost boring. No transformation, no dramatic cue. But for the first time, I wasn't treating the present like something to get through. Maybe peace isn't something I reach. Maybe it's something I stop resisting. Maybe life isn't asking for conclusions yet, just honesty, just existing. I don't need answers 5 years ahead. I don't need apologies for my past. I just need to stay where my body already is, long enough for this moment to last. 오늘 여기 지금이면 괜찮아. 더 앞서가지 않아도 돼. 불안이 이유를 물어와도 나는 이 순간을 선택해. 완성되지 않은 이 상태로도 삶은 이미 흐르고 있어. 지금 서 있는 이 자리에서 나를 지나치지 않기로 해. I watch people postpone their happiness like it needed better conditions, saving joy for a version of themselves that kept changing definitions. I did the same thing quietly, called it patience, called it drive. But underneath all that preparation was fear of actually living my life. I kept telling myself later, as if now was a temporary phase, as if presence was a rehearsal and meaning will show up someday. But confidence doesn't wait backstage, it doesn't arrive once I'm complete. It appears when I stop doesn't knock hard to be found. Sometimes it speaks at a human volume and waits for me to turn around. The less I rush toward tomorrow, the clearer the day begins to sound. Like the present was always speaking and I was the one not around. The future has always handled itself without my constant interference, and the past has already said enough. It doesn't need another appearance. So I'm placing my feet in this minute, not brave, not loud, not proud, because life isn't hiding elsewhere, it's unfolding right here, right now. 오늘 여기 지금이면 충분해. 증명하지 않아도 살아있어. 조금 느려도 이 시간은 나를 버리지 않고 있어. 멀리 가야만 의미가 생기는 건 아니니까 지금 이 순간에 내 마음을 두기로 해. 오늘 여기 지금이면 충분해. 증명하지 않아도 살아있어. 조금 느려도 이 시간은 나를 버리지 않고 있어. 멀리 가야만 의미가 생기는 건 아니니까 지금 이 순간에 내 마음을 두기로 해. What if this is the balance point? I've been circling my whole life. Not the peak, not the collapse, just the place where I arrive. No audience, no announcement, no signal telling me I won. Just my pulse doing its simple work because it's still going on. I don't need to outrun uncertainty, I don't need to silence doubt. I just need to stay inside this breath until it teaches me how. Maybe being alive is an acceleration, maybe it's permission to remain, to let ordinary minutes prove they don't need an end. 오늘 여기 지금을 살아. 미래에 맡기지 않아도 돼. 불완전한 이 모습으로도 삶은 계속 진행돼. 지나치듯 흘려보내지 말고 이 순간을 통과하지 말고 오늘의 나로 오늘을 살아. So here I stay without decoration, without delaying myself again, not waiting for a better version to finally begin. I won't rush this heartbeat forward, I won't drag yesterday around. I'll stand exactly where I am and let this mold its ground. Right here, right now, not a pause, not a lead-in. This is life, spoken plainly or loud. Do you like soft rain, the kind that doesn't interrupt the day? The kind that arrives without explanation and somehow makes everything slower to say. Not the dramatic kind that forces umbrellas open, not the kind that ruins plans on purpose. I mean the quiet one that changes the air without asking for anyone's permission. I was thinking about the kind of rain this morning, how it never demands attention, how it doesn't prove it's important, yet the street always listens. People keep walking like nothing happened, cars keep pretending nothing changed, but something small rewrites the texture of how the city holds your name. I wondered if love is a little like that, not the kind that announces its role, but the kind that slips into a sentence and alters the way you say it all. There are feelings that don't need volume, they don't arrive survive with a reason or goal. They just sit between two moments and quietly rearrange the whole. The rain never asks where we're headed, never questions what came before. It only asks if we'll notice how different the ground feels now. And standing there, watching the pavement, I thought of the way you listen, how you don't rush my unfinished thoughts, how you let silence finish them. Maybe not everything meaningful needs a headline or a frame. Maybe some things exist only to gently call your name. I don't need certainty from this feeling, I don't need to know what it becomes. I just wanna stay long enough to feel what it does. Oh, 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 oh. 봄비를 좋아하나요? 괜히 맘이 열리는 그런 날 아무 일도 없었는데 괜히 당신이 생각나. 설명하지 않아도 되는 감정이 조용히 나를 적셔와. 이유 없이 좋은 순간이 오늘처럼 내려와. I remember how we talked that afternoon. Nothing urgent, nothing planned, just words leaning into each other like they finally understood where to land. No promises hanging in the air, no future tied in a bow, just the ease of not performing for something bigger than now. The rain kept drawing softer edges around the corners of the street, and for once the world felt patient. Instead of asking me to keep up its speed, I noticed how time loosened its grip, how moments stopped being a resource, how being present stopped feeling brave and started feeling natural. Of course, some days don't need to be remembered, they don't need a special name, but later they return unexpectedly, and you realize they quietly changed you. That's how I think of you sometimes, not as a turning point or a sign, but as the reason ordinary days feel slightly more aligned, like soft rain on concrete. You don't ask me to react, you just change the temperature of how my thoughts move back. I don't wanna force this feeling into something it's not. Some things grow better when they're given room to stay soft. If meaning shows up gently, I don't wanna rush it away. I wanna learn how to recognize it when it decides to stay. 반벌의 봄비를 좋아하나요? 괜히 웃음이 늘어나는 날 특별한 말은 없는데 마음이 먼저 대답해. 지나가듯 찾아온 순간이 이상하게 오래 남아 아무 이유도 필요 없는 좋은 날이 내려와. What if some emotions are seasonal, not because they disappear, but because they teach us how to open at the right time of year? Not every bloom needs a witness, not every feeling needs a name. Some things exist only to remind us we're still capable of change. I don't wanna chase intensity, I don't wanna dramatize joy. I want the kind of happiness that feels like a quiet choice, the kind you notice later, the kind you don't announce, the kind that feels like rain that doesn't ask to be pronounced. Fine, 봄비를 좋아하나요? 대답이 없어도 괜찮아. 이미 마음은 알고 있어. 이 느낌이 뭔지 말하지 않아도 번지는 대신 차분히 이어지는 하루 오늘 같은 날이 있어서 나는 이 계절이 좋아. The rain didn't stay very long. It never promised that it would. But the air remembered its presence longer than anyone could. And even when the street dried out, something remained unchanged. The way a simple moment can quietly rearrange a day. So if you ever ask me what kind of feeling I trust, I'll say the kind that doesn't insist, the kind that arrives like soft rain and leaves the world a little easier to touch.
I didn't grow up learning how to ask for help. I learned how to keep my balance instead. How to build a life that stands on its own, even when nobody's watching the edge. You learn survival in a different language, one that never promised safety or time. So closeness felt like oxygen to you, and distance felt like a personal crime. We met somewhere in the middle of that, not broken, just unevenly taught. Two ways of staying alive, trying to share the same thought. When you reach for reassurance, I reach for steadiness and space. Not because I loved you less, but because that's how I learned to stay. I saw how quickly you carried blame, how fast you apologized for needing care. Like wanting warmth meant you'd done something wrong by asking me to be there. But I don't want love that shrinks you. I don't want strength that costs shrinks you. I don't want no strength that costs your voice. I want a closeness where both of us get to breathe by choice. Felt like distance, mental submission. 사랑은 미안하지 않아, 존재만으로 충분해. 기대는 고백이지 죄가 되는 말은 아니야. 서로 다른 방식으로 여기까지 잘 살아왔고, 이제는 나란히 같은 속도로 가면 돼. I won't pretend I didn't feel the weight, the way my name became a shelter, the way your fears lined up at my door, asking me to answer faster. And I won't say you were wrong to lean, you did what kept you standing then. But leaning can turn into falling when it forgets its own legs. I need you standing with me, not holding on to stay upright. I need a love that feels like daylight, present, clear, no fight. So when you say I'm sorry, asking too much. I want a version that grows us both with clarity and trust. No one wins by disappearing. No one heals by shame. The goal isn't perfection, it's standing equal in the fray. 사랑은 미안하지 않아 버텨온 시간이 말해. 의지와 존중 사이에 우리가 설 자리가 있어. 너를 지우지 않고 나를 잃지 않는 방식, 그게 우리가 지켜야 할 약속이야. We don't need intensity to feel close. We don't need guilt to feel true. Love isn't proven by how much you carry, it's proven by what you let be you. I don't wanna be your only ground, and you don't need to be my rescue plan. I want us choosing each other with both feet where we stand. Strength doesn't mean never leaning, it means knowing when and how. And care doesn't mean dissolving, it means staying whole somehow. 사랑은 미안하지 않아 설명 없이도 이어져. 불균형을 고치려는 그 노력마저 사랑이야. 기대도 두려움도 같은 테이블 위에 두고 우리는 지금 아름답게 사랑해. So if the old habits knock again, if apology tries to lead, we'll answer with steadier language, presence, respect, and need. No more shrinking to be chosen, no more saving to be loved. We'll keep this simple and honest, the way grown hearts do enough. Love doesn't apologize, it clarifies. And when it's right, it stands. I didn't plan on living alone this way, but plans rarely explain themselves. Days started folding inward quietly when there was no love to tell. The apartment learned my footsteps, every sound had a memory attached. I talked to cups, to open windows, to nights that answered back with gaps. I kept flowers that no longer asked for water, light, or care. Not because they were still beautiful, but because they stayed. They reminded me of something honest, how some things don't recover loudly, how surviving doesn't always bloom. Sometimes it just keeps shape gently. I wasn't crying every evening, I wasn't breathing. I existed somewhere in between. Wasn't dramatic, it was consistent. I learned the weight of silence, not heavy, just wide.
time. Maybe being alone isn't failure. Maybe it's just unshaded air. Maybe it's a room without witnesses where I finally hear myself clearly there. I'm not waiting to be rescued. I'm not rehearsing a return. I'm learning how to stand still without calling it a concern. Dryflower 와처럼 말라간다고 느꼈던 날들 사라진 게 아니라 형태를 바꾼 거였어. 손대지 않아도 버텨온 시간만으로 나는 아직 여기 살아있어. There were mornings I didn't rush into, no reason, no destination. Time stopped feeling like a resource and started feeling like a conversation. I noticed how calm can feel unfamiliar, almost suspicious at first, like happiness had lowered its voice and was asking me to listen, not burst. I stopped explaining my solitude, stopped framing it as temporary. Some seasons don't announce exits, they stay until they're necessary. I began writing things down at night, not goals, not promises, not plans, just sentences proving I was still here with my own hands. I learned that independence isn't loud, it doesn't clap when you arrive, it just quietly supports your weight when you decide to live your life. I pay bills without commentary, ate dinners that didn't perform, and slowly the quiet stopped meaning empty and started meaning warm, like dried petals holding color even after the scent is gone. Some kinds of beauty aren't immediate, they persist, they go on. I don't need to be watered constantly to prove that I can grow. I don't need an audience to know what I already know. There's something in me feels preserved, not broken, not erased. Maybe this dryness is just patience, waiting for a different pace. Dryflower처럼 말없이 남아있는 나, 화려하진 않아도 쉽게 무너지지 않아. 혼자인 시간이 나를 비워낸 게 아니라 오히려 나를 만들었어. What if healing doesn't look like blooming? What if it looks like staying intact? What if strength is simply not collapsing when no one's watching your back? I don't need to feel fresh every morning, I don't need to shine on cue, I just need to trust that even now there's something alive and true. Some roots grow deeper in quiet seasons, some colors wait inside restraint, and maybe this version of me isn't delayed, it's restrained. If love returns someday differently, it won't be to save or complete, it'll meet a person already standing with her own balance, her own feet. Until then I'll keep my small rituals, watering what's still unseen, learning that survival can be gentle and still mean dry. 플라워처럼 쉽게 시들지 않은 맘, 시간이 지나도 형태를 지키는 나, 다시 피지 않아도 이미 충분해. sky didn't try to impress anyone that evening. It just arrived at a different conclusion. Like the day had one last thought. It wanted to finish quietly. We weren't chasing a view or a reason, just standing where the road slows down. And the air felt deliberate for once, as if it knew how to settle us down. I noticed how nothing asked for attention, no moment demanded a reaction. And for the first time in a while, I wasn't translating what I felt into action. That's when the color appeared. Not bold, not trying to be rare. Somewhere between certainty and pause, a tone that didn't need to declare. It wasn't the kind of color you explain easily. It didn't match words I knew. It felt like something you recognize before you decide what it means to you. I thought about how places hold memories, not loudly, not all at once, but patiently, like land understands how humans leave things behind without notice. Standing there, I realized why the moment felt complete. Nothing was asking to be carried forward, nothing needed to repeat. Some scenes don't wanna be kept, they don't improve when framed. They stay with you because they were honest and never asked to be named. I didn't reach for that color, didn't ask it to stay or remain. I just let it finish being itself at the edge of the day. 보랏빛 하늘의 제주도에서 말없이 멈춰있던 시간, 기대도 계획도 없이 마음이 가벼워졌어. 풍경이 아니라 기억으로 남은 새, 그날의 공기가 지금도 이어져. We didn't talk much while the light shifted. Words felt unnecessary there, like anything spoken too quickly would interrupt what we shared. Cars passed with their windows open, music low, movement slow, and everyone seemed to agree silently that this wasn't a moment to rush or go. I felt urgency, forgetting my name, felt the future take a step back, and the present settle in comfortably without asking me to unpack. That color didn't solve my questions, didn't offer direction or proof, but it reminded me how little is required to feel true. I remembered how often I've been elsewhere, mentally ahead of where I stand. How many moments I missed completely by asking what they would demand. But here, nothing negotiated meaning, nothing tried to justify itself. The sky simply existed long enough for me to feel alive, and that felt like understanding without effort or cost. Sometimes clarity arrives when you stop asking it to. I don't wanna trap this feeling, I don't wanna lock it down. Some moments stay meaningful because you let them move around. If I carry anything forward, it won't be the view or the light, it'll be the way my chest felt steadier without me trying to make it right. 보랏빛 하늘의 제주도에서 하루가 천천히 닫히고 남겨진 말보다 느낌이 먼저 남아. 사진 속 장면보다 몸으로 기억된 시간, 돌아와도 계속 이어져. What if colors are just emotions, learning how to be seen? What if that shade was a language for everything I didn't mean? Not happiness, not sadness, not closure, not desire, just a steady understanding that didn't require fire. I don't need every place to guide me, I don't need every memory to lead. Some moments exist only to adjust the way I move and breathe. That sky didn't change who I am, blur again if motion makes me doubt. I remember how that evening asked nothing and gave clarity first. No urgency, no performance, no reason to pretend. Just a horizon teaching me how to let a day in. 난 보랏빛 하늘의 제주도에서 아무 말도 하지 않은 채 괜찮아도 된다는 감각을 처음으로 배웠어. 지나간 풍경이 아니라 현재가 된 기억. 그날의 색은 아직 선명해. Sky returned to its usual blue, as skies eventually do. But something in me stayed adjusted, slightly quieter, slightly new. I didn't try to keep that evening, I didn't ask it to repeat. I let it finish naturally and trusted my own feet. Some places don't ask to be revisited, they travel with you instead. And that violet line over Jeju still redraws my
Doesn't feel like a special day tonight. No decorations asking for attention. Just here lingering on the sidewalks, and a breeze that knows our direction. People are out later than usual, laughing without a reason to explain. Like the city agreed silently to loosen its grip on being restrained. I didn't wake up expecting wonder, didn't plan a highlight to remember. But something about this ordinary night feels generously tender. I'm noticing how light reflects differently, how conversations slow down, how being here doesn't feel rushed, as if time decided to sit with us now. Snow to soften the edges, no bells telling us what to feel. Yet the air carries a fullness that feels unexpectedly real. I think joy sometimes changes seasons, borrows warmth to say the same thing, that being alive can feel abundant without announcing anything. And walking beside you like this, no urgency, no list to complete, I realize how rare it is to feel this quietly complete. Maybe celebration doesn't need a calendar, maybe it doesn't need a name. Maybe some nights just arrive already warm, already safe. I don't need lights strung above us, I don't need a reason to smile. This moment is doing enough just by staying a while. 한여름밤의 크리스마스처럼 괜히 마음이 풍요로워. 아무 일도 없었는데 지금이 충분해. 기대하지 않았던 온기가 자연스럽게 이어져 선물처럼 찾아온 이 밤이 좋아. I remember times I chased happiness, treated joy like a limited supply, as if missing one perfect moment meant I missed it for life. But tonight isn't demanding anything, it's not asking me to arrive, it's letting me stand exactly where I am and still feel alive. Open windows overlaps, no one song tries to lead, and somehow that perfect harmony fits what I need. I'm learning that fullness isn't loud, it doesn't sparkle to be seen. Sometimes it looks like a normal night that quietly means everything. I don't feel the need to document this, don't feel the urge to make it stay. I trust the way this feeling will find me again someday. Like holidays you remember later, not for what you receive, but for how nothing felt missing and you could finally breathe. This warmth isn't fragile, it doesn't melt when named. It settles into memory gently and remains unchanged. I don't wanna overstate this moment, I don't wanna hold it tight. Some things stay meaningful because you let them be light. If joy decided to visit tonight, I won't ask you why or how, I'll just recognize it quietly, standing with me now. 한이 여름밤의 크리스마스처럼 과하지 않아도 충분해. 준비하지 않은 마음에 기쁨이 와 있어. 설명보다 먼저 느껴지는 안정감, 지금 이 시간이 선물 같아. What if abundance isn't accumulation of something you earn or save? What if it's simply the absence of feeling deprived? What if joy isn't a peak experience, not a moment you chase down, but a steady sense of having enough right where you are now? I don't need more to feel complete, I don't need proof or signs. This night isn't asking me to upgrade, it's already kind. If I ever forget what this feels like, if days become tight again, I'll remember this warmth without snow. The summer pretending to be December, not because it copied the season, but because it shared the same truth, that fullness arrives when you stop insisting. Life give you more than you need to. 한여름 밤의 크리스마스처럼 조용히 반짝이는 밤, 많지 않아도 이미 충분해. 기다리지 않았던 행복이 여기 와 있어. 오늘은 그냥 기억하면 돼. The night won't last forever, it doesn't promise that it will, but it leaves a calm behind it that feels generous and still. I don't need to repeat this evening, I don't need it every time. I just need to know this feeling exists outside of season and sign. Some nights arrive without wrapping, without reason, without stress, and teach you quietly what it means to have enough. Don't miss you in the dramatic way, not the kind that stops a day. It's more like noticing an empty chair and smiling anyway. Your name shows up in ordinary places, on receipts, on street signs, not demanding my attention, just passing through my mind. I've learned how memory behaves. It doesn't knock, it doesn't stay. It leans in softly for a second, then moves along its way. Now let it, I don't pull it back, I don't ask it to explain. Some thoughts aren't invitations, they're just proof we shared a lane. Yeah. I remember how easy laughter felt, how time forgot to rush, how nothing needed fixing when we didn't push. Those moments don't ask for rescue, they don't wanna be restored. They exist exactly as they were without asking for more. I don't replay the ending, I don't edit what was said. I keep the parts that still feel light and leave the rest unread. I don't need to turn memory into longing, I don't need to make it ache. Some feelings stay kind when you don't force them to stay. Missing doesn't have to hurt, it doesn't have to pull. It can be just a gentle awareness that something good was real. 너를 그리며 괜히 하루가 부드러워. 웃음이 남아 조금 느려져. 잡으려 하지 않아도 마음은 알고 있어. 좋았던 시간들이 아직 따뜻해. Yeah, I don't imagine alternate versions, don't wonder what we'd be. I let the story stay finished without questioning the key. Some connections don't need continuation to prove they mattered then. They did their work in their own time and quietly settled in. I see your habits in other people, the way someone listens well, and instead of feeling absence, I feel gratitude swell. That's how I know this feeling changed. It learned a lighter road. It stopped asking to be answered and started making me whole. I've carried heavier memories, ones that demanded space, but this one learned restraint and kept a human pace. It doesn't interrupt my present, doesn't blur what's in front. It simply adds a softer shade to moments I confront, like sunlight passing through a window without staying too long. It warms the room just enough and then moves on. I don't need to revisit everything, I don't need to check the past. Some chapters are complete because they didn't last. I honor what we shared by letting it be light, by not confusing memory with the need to rewind. 너를 그리며 마음이 무너지지 않아. 그리움도 이제는 조용해. 다시 돌아가지 않아도 충분히 남아있어. 웃음으로 기억되는 우리 시간. What if missing is just recognition without demand or claim? What if it's simply remembering without needing the same? I don't wanna turn affection into something I chase. I want it to stay respectful of time and place. Some people enter our lives to teach us a certain tone, and once we learn how to hear it, we don't need them to stay on the phone. The lesson remains, the warmth remains too, when that doesn't disappear just because paths do. If I ever say your name aloud, it won't be to pull you near. It'll be to acknowledge quietly that you were here. No regret, no rehearsal, no longing left to prove. Just a gentle recognition of something true. 너를 그리며 오늘을 살아. 과거에 머물지 않아. 그리움이 나를 앞으로 조금 밀어줘. 좋았던 기억이 지금의 나야. I don't miss you loudly, I don't miss you wrong. I carry you the way you finish on. We don't have a lot to show for this season, and no spare room, no safety net. The fridge hums louder than our plans, and tomorrow isn't settled yet. Some nights dinner is a careful decision, and some days stretch thinner than we like. And stability feels like a rumor people talk about in another life. But when I get home tired and quiet, you don't ask me to be okay. You sit close without fixing anything. Somehow the weight learns to stay. We count time more than money lately. Count glances, count shared air. And I start noticing how survival changes shape when someone's there. We don't pretend this is comfortable. We don't rename stress as a dream. We know exactly what's missing here and what that usually means. Still you listen like it matters, even when I repeat the same fear. Do you remember details about my day that I thought disappeared? The kind of attention does something strange. It doesn't erase the cost, but it reminds me I'm not alone inside what we've lost. Maybe wealth isn't always numbers. Maybe it's how pressure feels. Maybe it's having someone notice when the world gets a little too real. I don't need this to be easier, I just need it to be shared. Because difficulty feels different when someone's aware. Bingo 속에서도 마음이 메말라지 않는 이유 또는 아직 없지만 서로를 보고 있어. 불안한 하루 끝에 관심이 남아있다면 우리는 지금 가난해도 풍요로워. We talk about the future carefully, not to scare it away, using words like eventually instead of exact dates. There are moments envy visits quietly, knocks once then stays too long. When I see how easy life looks in someone else's song. But then you ask if I ate enough, if my shoulders still feel tight, and suddenly comparison loses the fight. We don't solve everything at once, we don't promise more than today. We just keep choosing to show up in a very human way. Love doesn't pay the bills for us, it doesn't cancel the math, but it keeps us from turning inward and walking separate paths. It gives the hard days somewhere to land, gives the fear a softer edge, and reminds me that endurance doesn't have to feel like that. Some people confuse wealth with ease, but ease isn't what we need. We need connection, strong enough to let us breathe. I'm not romanticizing the struggle, I know exactly what's at stake, but I also know how emptiness grows when no one sees what you take. So if this chapter stays heavy, if progress moves too slow, I still choose this version of us over facing it alone. 인공 속에서도 서로를 놓지 않는 밤, 넉넉하진 않아도 외롭지는 않아. 사랑이 모든 걸 대신해 주진 않아도 이 시간을 견딜 수는 있어. What if richness isn't abundance, but presence that doesn't leave? What if it's being seen completely when there's very little to give? I don't need this love to rescue me, I don't need it to pretend. I just need it to sit with me honestly until this season bends. Some days the only thing we have is each other's attention, and somehow that keeps us human inside all the tension. If the world don't measure success in silence and comfort in excess and proof. We're failing quietly on paper and surviving loudly in truth. I'd rather be poor with someone who notices when I'm not okay than rich in a room full of people who never stay. 빈 건 속에서 또 사랑이 남아있다면 이 하루는 비어있지 않아. 불안한 현실 위에 관심이 놓여있는 밤 우리는 지금 서로로 충분해. Oh, we don't know when things will open up. We don't know how fast or when, but tonight at least we're not invisible, and that matters more than then. This isn't the end of the story. It's not the place we'll stay, but it's real and it's ours, and it gets us through today. Not rich in money, not stable yet, but rich enough to keep going.
And we got colder, further than we expected, the kind that sharpens the air. Streetlights holding their breath outside while we stayed exactly where we were. The window fogged without asking permission, your coat still resting on the chair, and the room felt smaller in a good way, like it wanted us to stay aware. I poured the milk slower than usual, watched the steam learn how to rise, and you smiled like the moment mattered even before we decided why. Nothing urgent waited for us tonight. No future knocking on the door, just winter doing what it does, and us not needing more. The coffee wasn't strong or dramatic, it didn't try to wake us up. It felt like something meant to be held, not finished in a rush. You added honey without measuring, trusted your hand instead. And I thought about how comfort often lives in things unsaid. Outside the world kept its distance, inside time loosened its grip, and for once being worn together felt like a complete trip. Some nights don't need conversation, they don't ask to be explained. They ask if you can stay still long enough to feel what remains. I didn't want to move the moment, didn't want to check the time. I wanted to sit exactly where I was and let this feeling arrive. 준결밤 꿀 같은 밀커피 한 잔 마주 앉아 서로를 바라봐. 말이 없어도 충분한 이 시간, 오늘은 그냥 이대로 좋아. We talked about nothing important, then stopped talking at all. Not because we ran out of words, but because silence felt possible. Your eyes stayed on mine a little longer, not searching, not asking why, just resting there like they trusted this moment wouldn't lie. I noticed how rarely we do this, how often days ask us to perform. But tonight didn't want a version of us, it wanted us warm. The cup slowly cooled between my hands, but the room didn't change its tone. And I realized how rare it is to feel this on alone. Winter usually makes people hurry, pulls collars up, shortens days, but here it felt like an agreement to slow our pace. I thought about how closeness works, but from choosing to stay present when nothing demands it. Love didn't feel loud or urgent, it didn't ask to be proved. It felt like something already done. The moment we chose to stay put, I don't wanna interrupt this, I don't wanna make it more. Some things stay meaningful when you don't ask them for more. If one could be a decision, this would be how it's made. By staying, by looking, by not needing to be saved. 추운 겨울밤 천천히 식어가는 커피 손끝에 온기가 남아. 바쁘지 않은 이 눈 맞춤이 오늘의 나를 쉬게 해. What if comfort is an escape but permission to remain? What if warmth is simply not having to explain? I don't need fireworks or music, I don't need a reason to feel full. This quiet exchange of presence is already beautiful. Some people wait for perfect timing, some wait for life to align, but sometimes peace is just two people agreeing to stop the time. I don't wanna rush past this, I don't wanna turn it into proof. I just wanna remember how easy it was to be with you. If the world outside keeps freezing, if days get heavier than planned, I'll remember this when the night and the cup inside my hands. Not because it solved everything, not because it made us new, but because it reminded me of what warmth can do. 추운 겨울밤 꿀 같은 밀커피처럼 천천히 마셔지는 시간, 서로를 보는 이 평온함이 오늘을 충분하게 해. 추운 겨울밤 꿀 같은 밀커피처럼 천천히 마셔지는 시간,